Three cars are tied for the season points lead, heading into the final race of the season.
We finally have some competition in F1.
And the winner of this race, Darryl, will win the season title and the Piston Cup.
And that's pretty damn cool.
Does the king, Strip Weathers, have one more victory in him before retirement?
He's been Dinoco's golden boy for years. Can he win them one last Piston Cup?
Getting to see Ferrari, McLaren, and Red Bull fight out for the Constructors' Championship is a lot of fun.
And as always, in the second place spot, we find Chick Hicks. He's been chasing that tail pin his entire career.
Chick thought this was his year, Bob. His chance to finally emerge from the king's shadow. But the last thing he expected was...
This is definitely the most pressure a lot of these teams have been under.
Lightning McQueen!
You know, I don't think anybody expected this. The rookie sensation came into the season unknown, but everyone knows him now.
Will he be the first rookie to win a Piston Cup and land Dinoco?
In quite a long time.
The legend, the runner-up, and the rookie. 3 cars, 1 champion.
I mean, unless you count Ferrari's hopeless attempts to win a race in 2022.
Stay out.
But this season, all 3 of these teams have made, yes, some mistakes and some reasonably big mistakes, but also a couple good calls, good strategies, and surprisingly impressive races so far. Okay, I'll be honest, it was a lot more mistakes, but let's see who's actually done the best and who looks set to carry on that momentum into 2025 and maybe have a chance at the title then. Starting off with the team that came in as favourites to win the championship. Red Bull started off the year as the favourites, looking like they were going to have another dominant year similar to 2023. Which would have sent most of the F1 fan base to sleep. But instead, they've somehow managed to do more damage to their image in 1 year than Jeffrey Epstein managed in a lifetime. I would call that a joke if Christian WhatsApp Horner wasn't part of their team. But I'm not going to get into that whole controversy just yet for you. Like I said though, starting off the year, it was strong for Red Bull. 7 race wins and even 4 podiums from Sergio Perez over there, which is pretty much the best they could hope for considering they expected their rivals in McLaren and Ferrari to begin catching up to them. However, with the looming Christian Horny controversy and rumours of Jos Verstappen beginning a power struggle in Red Bull, don't ask me how he can get promoted from hitting his son to being a team boss. Who knows though, maybe a good slap from Jos would wake Perez up. But even with those rumours of power struggle in the Red Bull team, Jorge Marco wasn't having any of it, and things seem to have settled back down by about the mid-season. There was, however, what I'm going to nickname the Red Bull Exodus happened. Where basically all the members of Red Bull's dream team, I'm talking experienced team members like Adrian Newey, who's been at the forefront of F1 aerodynamics for over 30 years at this point, and Jonathan Wheatley have left to Audi and Aston Martin respectively. Even before the whole WhatsApp controversy, McLaren managed to poach a couple of their top team members who'd worked with Adrian Newey too. And considering they're one of the top teams, it's a little bit shambolic to start losing so many members. Okay, that did sound like all of their cocks have fallen off. But I'm not being funny, with Adrian Newey gone at Miami, the car literally seemed to fall off a cliff without its designer there to look after it. They might as well have hired Jeremy Clarkson to hit it with a hammer.
Jeremy broke out his vast and sophisticated toolkit.
And after the Spanish Grand Prix, Verstappen went on a 10-race streak of no wins, basically embodying 2019 to 2023 Lando Norris. But he did still put in some consistently good performances to maximize. That was a terrible joke. I don't deserve to be on this planet. His points in the car, even making use of any opportunity he could to outperform that car in a situation, such as Brazil, where he used his strength in the wet to win the race and come back from what was a terrible qualifying position. But the other half of Red Bull, oh no, oh no. Someone needs to check that Sergio Perez isn't falling asleep in his Formula 1 car. I'm not even joking. This guy right here would be a better replacement. At least the orangutan doesn't bin it in the wall.
Pole position.
It has been since China, round 5, that Sergio Perez last stood on the Formula 1 podium. Max Verstappen won a race 1 round before Las Vegas. So of course, with Perez essentially putting the car in reverse gear and driving backwards round the track, Red Bull have dropped points in the Constructors' Championship. And as of me recording this video, they're currently 3rd behind Ferrari, and it looks set to stay that way. Bear in mind, at the start of the year, everyone saw Red Bull doing nothing but strolling away with this championship. I mean, they could get in the car, start the race, stop halfway through, eat cake, get back in the car, and win the race still. But now one half of their team is essentially working for no reason because it can't score any points. The funniest part is, though, Helmut Marko has basically insinuated that Sergio Perez has cost the Red Bull employees their bonuses.
Oh, dang it.
If you don't know how it works, in the Constructors' Championship, the further up you finish, the more money you get at the end of the season. And because of Perez's poor performances and Max basically doing everything he can, Sergio Perez has cost the employees the extra bonus money that they would be paid out of that Constructors' prize winnings. So I'm sure the team just absolutely love him.
You are making $500,000 and you were only going to pay me 30? You're getting 30 grand? I'm getting 1,000.
You guys are getting paid?
Anyway, though, with the team in red ahead of Red Bull, let's see how Ferrari have actually done it. Ferrari have definitely shown us a side we haven't seen in, honestly, a long time. They've been consistent, and not just consistently shit for a change. Oh, the flashbacks. They've even had some incredible weekends, like where they could pick up the pieces when Verstappen's car farted and just died. Charles Leclerc finally managed to break his home race curse of Monaco and take home a dominant win there. Then Charles Leclerc managed to make it twice in Monza, bringing home his 2nd home victory for Ferrari, which had every Italian in the world screaming at the top of their lungs.
Thank you, Super Mario Bros. It seems like the only thing you haven't drained is the cum from your fat fucking car.
At the US Grand Prix, despite them bringing no upgrades, Ferrari had another dominant victory over the other teams, which was actually very surprising. And then in Mexico, Sainz was there to take that surprise win, which was definitely a great little wholesome result, considering they're booting him out of the team to bring in washed Hamilton. Okay, I didn't say that. I'm not starting a comment war over a Hamilton joke, please. But even this year, when they've not been right at the front, the results from both drivers have been scattered with top 5s and podium finishes all throughout, which is exactly what you want to see from the team. And that is what's brought them the luck in the Constructors' Championship and really put them in the fight. They've not been up and down like some of the others. They've just been consistent with some great results in there to boost them. Being honest with you though, most Ferrari fans have been seeing a therapist since 2008. The last time they won the Constructors and any of the championships. Rumor has it some Ferrari fans have even jumped off high places since then.
Oh my God!
So seeing Ferrari finally get a real chance at actually still winning this championship has been incredibly exciting for the depressed Italians and tifosi among us. I can't believe I'm so brain rotten that when I said Among Us, I just immediately thought of the fucking game.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no.
However, it's exciting for the sport to see Ferrari at the front and really put some life and energy back into it. There is still the classic teething problems though. A few strange strategy calls, the occasional pizza in the engine, and some very happy drivers.
Yeah, I did my job, but it's being nice to me over all the f***ing time.
I mean, who's ever seen someone unhappy in a Ferrari? But under Fred Vasseur, things are finally looking up, and they might actually finally fucking win something for a change. So there we go. If only they can top their longtime rivals. Let's start off by saying that any of you older fans watching are probably busting a nut over the fact that McLaren and Ferrari are once again championship rivals. And I can't say it isn't really thrilling to watch and a great thing for the sport. But McLaren haven't made things easy for themselves this year. They've probably had the better car and driver combo over both Ferrari and Red Bull this year. As in, for the vast majority of the year, they've had the better car than Ferrari and definitely have the better driver combo over Red Bull, considering Red Bull have Perez. Norris. But somehow, every single time McLaren gets a good result, Max Verstappen is right there sniffing their arse, even if he's qualified in P45 in the grid or something. And then every single time they fuck up summer, Ferrari or Red Bull has been there to get the win-ins and enjoy those extra points coming their way. And my God, there's been an absolute ton of mistakes on McLaren's end. I could start by listing every single race start from pole for Lando Norris, apart from Singapore, the easiest track to keep the lead from pole on, where whenever he does get the pole position start, he seems to lose at least 45 places into turn 1. Or I could talk about the fact that when it's rained, for the most part, Norris has driven slightly more like someone from the Sahara Desert than someone from the United Kingdom.
I just woke up in a fucking steaming mood, yeah? Because I live in a shithole!
You know, the country where it never stops raining. I love it here. If I'm being honest as well, they've made some questionable calls. Swapping Lando and Oscar at pretty inconvenient times that demotivated both drivers. And then Oscar sometimes having an absolutely masterclass of a race, but also sometimes showing us, okay, yeah, this guy is still definitely in his second season of Formula One and not quite at the top level yet. But also, I'm not gonna entirely blame the pro bottler and his Aussie mate for the mishaps of McLaren. There has been the occasional race where the car just hasn't been there either. Like Las Vegas, McLaren definitely didn't have the pace on track, I think, to fight for anything more than what they got in the end. One thing that does go in their favor is that they have tons of support from their fans. They're a historic team, they've got loads of people behind them, and that should push them to do better. If you support McLaren or any other team, V12RS are sponsoring this video. And we've teamed up to give you a discount code, DanNoSkill10, which gives you 10% off your order. As well as that, 10% of whatever you buy goes towards the channel and helps to fund these videos. So I massively appreciate it. If you're looking to get official Formula One merch, it really helps me out too. But back to McLaren, there has been a few races where they certainly haven't unlocked all of their potential and made some questionable Ferrari-esque strategy calls that maybe don't so much suit their cars. Like, for the most part, they've been pretty good on tires, and yet they always seem to be playing it really safe with the pit stops and not using that offset that they could have. You can tell that this is a team that's new to winning races and fighting at the front. Like, okay, even if leading the project are some experienced team members. Oh, and the long-lost son of Donald Trump.
I was walking around when I saw Crooked Hillary. And I saw what she did, and she took a dump at the McDonald's bathroom.
It is clear that the team and those members need a little bit more time working together to put together a competitive strategy at the front of the grid. You've got to remember, they've been in the midfield battle since, I mean, basically the turbo hybrid era began. No! And it's been their downfall putting together consistent race-winning strategies. It's knowing when to make those tough decisions and when to tell Oscar Piastri to forget where the brake pedal is, drive into the entire grid, and Lando will finally be able to win from pole position. Low-key though, coming into next year, we are completely spoiled for choice. Ferrari and McLaren, judging by this year, do look set to be close on performance. Unfortunately for Red Bull, until they get a bit more experience, I'm not going to back them saying they're the favorites going into 2025. And I think even Max Gaming Verstappen realizes this too. Oh, and especially until they give up that useless lump taking up half of the garage, they've got no chance at the World Constructors' Championship. I've not actually mentioned them in this video yet, but Mercedes do look like they could be stepping up to the challenge of Constructors' title next year as well. Because they've had some pace in that car, they've just not quite been able to extract it every single weekend. All I'm saying is this: when F1 actually has some competition, this shit is so fire, so good. If you want to keep up to date on it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and a massive thank you to these guys who are the channel members. I really appreciate your support, and it helps me make more content like this. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed this deep dive, and goodbye.